increased happiness, harmony, and prosperity. Anybody support those things? Anybody against those things? Most people obviously do support those things, and yet, as we've learned in the last 2 days, 30% of American workers are engaged in inspired work. It's great if you're in the 30%, but if you're in the 70% that are disconnected. Thank you. What if you're in the 70% that are disengaged? Gallup says that 20% of American workers are actively disengaged. What does that mean? Well, quote the CEO of Gallup. By the way, it's 20 million people. He says these employees who have bosses from hell that make them miserable roam the halls spreading discontent. Not too sweet of a picture. So what can we do about this management quagmire that we're in? Well, we can ask some very fundamental questions. First question is, if people know how to do their jobs, why do they need a boss at all? Second question, people make jugular life-changing decisions all the time in their personal lives, right? We decide who to date, who to marry, where to live, what to do for a living, whether to buy a house, a car, take out a mortgage, have kids. Make all these decisions without a boss. But as soon as we set foot in the workplace, all of a sudden, we need a boss. Is it possible, just possible, that we can figure out a way to manage workplaces ourselves? The way we manage our own lives outside of work all the time already. Is it possible? Well, in 1990, early spring 1990, there was a small group of colleagues working out of a little tiny farmhouse in the Central Valley agricultural heartland of California. And they joined with an entrepreneur, Chris Rupert, and their mission was to construct and operate a new state-of-the-art tomato processing plant. So people were working long hours, and this little farmhouse was a beehive of activities. So there were customers and suppliers, and politicians, and regulators, and accountants, and attorneys, insurance brokers, job applicants, all kinds of stakeholders coming through all hours of the day and night, trying to get this little project off the ground. The reason I know about it is I was one of those team members. I was the financial controller. And then one day, the owner, founder, Chris Rupert, came in and said, I'd like to have a meeting with all of our team members and talk about how to organize this company going forward. Okay, great. So that evening we met in a little dusty construction trailer down on the job site, and we passed around a document called the Colleague Principles. So we read through the principles and said, you know what? I don't want to have any human bosses in this enterprise at all. I want to base this enterprise on principles. And human principles are just as foundational as physical principles. They're just like gravity. It's there, whether you acknowledge it or not. You can choose to respect it and accept it or not. So what were the human principles? He said, I want to govern this company around the first principle, which is people should not use force or coercion against other people or their property. So when you think about it, that's the foundation of all law. Every law in the world against assault, battery, theft and robbery, rape, kidnapping, and murder all relates back to the foundational principle: people should not use force or coercion against other human beings. The second principle was that people should honor the commitments they make to other people. And that's really the foundation of almost all civil law. After all, what is contract law if it's not about keeping commitments? He said, these principles are going to be the governing philosophy of the enterprise. No human bosses. So we discussed, debated, talked about these principles. After 2 or 3 hours, we all looked at each other and said, well, we can't think of any reason not to adopt these principles. They obviously make sense. Let's go. So as far as I know, that was the origin, that moment was the origin of organizational self-management, at least at the scale of a large enterprise. So that was March. The next 4 months were a whirlwind. We had tomatoes coming up out of the ground. We had crucial equipment on ocean cargo freighters from Italy. We had hundreds of contractors on the job site, welding, cutting, fabricating. Then on July 16, 1990, the first load of tomatoes came in. And we flipped the switch, and we made 90 million pounds of tomato paste for the world market, disrupted the entire industry, shifted the cost structure of the whole industry. Everyone in this room is eating our product. Thank you very much. Everyone in North America is eating our product. Millions of people around the world. We had another factory a few years later, a third factory a few years after that. We extended the supply chain, went into harvesting, farming, trucking, transplanting. We're now the largest tomato processor in the world, approaching $750 billion a year in sales. And we've done it all without a single human boss. Let me talk a little bit about some characteristics of organizational self-management. There are some corollaries to self-management that are interesting. The first one is, no one can be fired. The founder, the owner of the company, has relinquished the authority to fire. Everything is based on request and response. That's it. And secondly, there's no command authority. I can't walk up to somebody and say, Josh, stop doing X and start doing Y. No command authority anywhere in the enterprise. There's no such thing as employee discipline. They're not employees, they're colleagues, professional colleagues. No one has the authority to issue discipline. It does not exist. Another characteristic is that it does require a certain set of competencies, certain mindsets. Some types of people do not thrive in this environment. People that need to be a boss don't thrive in this environment because no one has to listen to them. There's a book called The Winner Effect, How Power Affects the Brain. Some people get a little shot of dopamine when they issue commands to people. Those people don't thrive. On the other side of the coin, people that lack initiative tend not to do well, because this ecosystem requires initiative. People don't have time to direct the activities of other people. They're too busy. Another characteristic is that these colleague principles are precious. It's like the Constitution of the enterprise. And it's highly respected, and it's the reason people can be free. The fixed, unchanging, immutable characteristics of those principles and that Constitution is what lets people be free. Because they know they're not subject to the whims and arbitrary, capricious behavior of other people. Self-management recognizes that people are the ultimate reality. A team is a concept. An organization is a concept. Concepts cannot take responsibility for anything. Only individual human beings can act, decide, and take responsibility. And self-management recognizes that. It's not a democracy. It's not about majority rule. It's about respecting the voice of each and every individual in the enterprise. We don't talk about empowerment in self-management. Self-management is power itself. Empowerment implies that one person with power transfers it to another person. It It doesn't have as much power. What's transferred can be taken back. Everyone at this company has all the power they need from the first day they start work. They have the power to talk to anyone about anything, to acquire resources, to make decisions, to act. Self-management is power itself. In self-management, true self-management, you don't really talk about work-life balance. Not really a topic. Everyone I've worked with has always been living. The name of the game is to make work fun, to turn it into a game, so that people have as much fun at work as they do anywhere else. And as far as taking time off to go visit a priest or whatever the issue might be, people just do it. They do what they need to do with their personal time, with their personal lives. It's fine. They're self-managed. No approval necessary. I had a very interesting conversation with a rather famous business professor a couple of years ago. And he said that, this is very interesting, very cute, very funky, but you know what? I just don't think it would work in a complex organization. If you got into something like airplane manufacturing, I just don't see how this would possibly work. And I thought, are you crazy? We deal with cell biology, enzyme kinetics, global currency exchange, thermodynamics, and a dozen other disciplines I can't even think of right now. We produce a product that's ingested by everyone in North America in a highly regulated industry. I think we do a little bit more than smash tomatoes. I think we're complex. And I'll take just a little issue with Julie's intro. The cognitive content of our core employees, who are mechanics, electricians, quality assurance technicians, instrumentation, automation specialists, people like that, the cognitive content of their roles is off the charts. These people are wicked smart. They take math, science, engineering classes in their spare time, on their own time, just to advance their professional knowledge and expertise. And they're well compensated for it. They manage themselves, but you know what? The people that sort tomatoes for $9 an hour, they manage themselves too. And their voice is every bit as important as the professional engineer. And they organize their own work schedules. If they can't make it in, it's their responsibility to figure out a substitute to fill in. Every single individual in the entire enterprise is self-managed. By the way, there are 400 year-round people, give or take, and more than 2,000 seasonal people. A lot of people that are self-managed. So how is self-management instantiated? What are the kind of tools, techniques that we use to make this work? Well, we talked a little bit yesterday. There was a lot of talk about mission. And mission is really important. So the mission of Morningstar is producing tomato products and meet product and service expectations of customers in a cost-effective, environmentally responsible manner. Great. That's the mission statement. We go one step further. Every single individual has a personal mission statement, a personal commercial mission. So when someone comes on board, the very first task that individual has is to craft and create a personal commercial mission that's aligned with the mission of the enterprise. No time frame, take as much time as you want to write the mission, but work on it. And then vet it with your fellow colleagues so that it's understood and clear. It can be as verbose or short as you want to make it, as long as it resonates with you. And as long as it answers two questions. One, why are you here? Why do you come to work here every day? What is your purpose in being here? And secondly, what does excellence look like in your role? Everyone has a personal commercial mission. second piece, and this is really crucial, is that everything is organized around agreements between peers. These are called colleague letters of understanding. Acronym is CLOU, C-L-O-U. But everyone who enters the enterprise creates a colleague letter of understanding and negotiates their role with the people in the enterprise with whom they interact most closely. And the colleague letter of understanding consists of the personal and commercial mission, which is how people communicate what it is they do. And then it dives into the exact identification of processes for which each individual takes full responsibility. And associated with each process are decision rights. Are you the person making this decision, or are you just making recommendations about this particular process? What is the scope of your decision-making authority? It's all negotiated. Then associated with each process are performance measures. Call them stepping stones. Well, we call them stepping stones because we consider them stepping stones toward perfection. We never benchmark against anything other than perfection. We don't go look at other companies to see, what your return on assets or any of that stuff. Perfection is the only benchmark we're pursuing. And performance is either bending toward it or away from it. And we try to just make sure that the curve is bending in the right direction. Tiger Woods is never going to shoot an 18 golf. You know that. But to the degree he tries, he will be a better golfer. We always shoot for perfection. We step it. Let's talk about what happened here in the last couple of years. In 2008, we formed the Morningstar Self-Management Institute because we wanted to promote the ideas and philosophies, tools, and techniques of self-management for anyone that was interested. We started a little think tank and created that. And then in 2011, Gary Hamel got interested in our company and came out to visit us, spent a day, did a little presentation for us. And that ended up on the cover of Harvard Business Review, described us as the world's most creatively managed company. And since then, it's hard to keep up with the interest that's eminent all around the world. Because we have companies from China, Russia, South America, all across the USA and all around the world, literally just bringing our phones off the hook, trying to learn more about what is self-management, how does it work. Let's talk a little bit about what self-management looks like. This is the actual org chart. So we took our colleague letters of understanding, which are online. And by the way, those letters of understanding are published and transparent throughout the entire enterprise. So everybody's deal is visible to anyone that's interested. We took all that data and we took it to a computer lab at the University of California, Davis. They have a little building called a cave. It's just kind of a dark room, and they can plot this data in three-dimensional space and let us look at it and see the connections. So the colors represent the different factories, business units, and the individual dots represent individual contributors. And the connections are the people with whom they have connections, formal, documented connections in the colleague letter of understanding. And as you look at this, a couple of things come about. One is that some people are relatively isolated. They might just have one or two connections. Those are most likely research and development people who are heads down down, writing and researching all day long. But we have other people who are highly connected. Maybe 10 or 15 connections with other stakeholders throughout the enterprise. And we call those mavens, the people that like to be connected and keep communication flowing. Anyone in the enterprise can talk to anyone else about anything at any time. There are no barriers to communication anywhere. Never have been. I like to think of this, and by the way, this is a pretty dense network, but it's understated because it does not document all the informal connections that exist. And there are lots of those, and it also doesn't document connections with external stakeholders, customers, suppliers, people like that. So this is just the internal workings of the enterprise. And also, if we were to make a movie of this, it would be fluxing and changing. It would be pulsing and moving constantly. Because all these polyglot letter of understanding commitments are being renegotiated. They're dynamic. They change every day as people renegotiate their roles and responsibilities. So this is just a snapshot in time. I like to think of this as a human representation of what in IT is called Metcalfe's law. The power of a network equals a square of the number of nodes in the network. And when a person comes in, their expertise is quickly absorbed by others inside the network. And also, expertise is pushed in and pushed out the individuals who join the enterprise. Very quickly absorbed. So this becomes very powerful. And it's very hard for a company that's brittle, based on hierarchy and bureaucracy and structure. It would be very hard for a company like that to compete with this enterprise. Because this is an innovation machine. Innovation can spring from anywhere throughout this entire network. Anyone can form a team at any time, under any conditions, for any purpose. It's complete freedom. I also think this is extraordinarily resilient and strong. A metaphor for this is a spider web. Okay? So if you brush a spider web, you can damage it. But generally speaking, it gets rebuilt fairly quickly. Spider silk is 5 times stronger than steel. And if people leave, and sometimes people do leave, but if 2 or 3 people were to leave the enterprise, it's no big deal. A lot of their expertise has already been absorbed by the network. And they might not even be replaced. Because roles and responsibilities can be reconfigured by existing members of the network in hours or days. So the risk of people leaving is next to nil, close to 0. Extraordinarily strong, extraordinarily resilient, very powerful. So let me just leave you with this thought. I think if an industrial manufacturer with multiple locations can create an organization with no human bosses, where people can self-manage and sculpt their own work lives, just the way they sculpt their own lives outside of work, I see no barriers at all to a tech company or any other company moving towards this. I think it's time for